because honestly, it's not easy on the streets. It's not easy on the streets. The girls are trying to make money from their books. Welcome to the Oppie experience. Hi, I'm your girl Oppie, and this is my channel. And I am so excited to have you here. How are you? How are you doing? How is your day going? Hope you're having fun today. I am really excited to be filming this video because why not? I'm always excited to chat with people and to chat with my friends because you're my friend. If you're watching this video, you're my friend. See, you might say that I'm not your friend, but you're my friend, and this is a by force thing. This is by force. You're my friend. So I'm really excited to be having you here on this channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the realities of publishing in Nigeria, of being a self-published writer or author in Nigeria, because I believe that it's a conversation that needs to be had. It's something that we need to talk about because honestly, it's not easy on the streets. It's not easy on the streets. The girls are trying to make money from their books, and I really just believe that this, like I said, this is a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm going to have it if nobody is. So I am a self-published author of 2 books, A Night with Harriet and Amanda, and in fact I have the books here with me. This is Amanda, and this is Amanda, and this is A Night with Harriet. This is a novelette and this is a novel, and these are my 2 books, and they are available on different platforms. I'll put the link in the description. And writing them has been an interesting journey because I have learned a lot from these books. There are lots of mistakes I have made in writing these books, and there are lots of things I have learned in the process, learned about myself, learned about my writing process, learned about publishing, and I will definitely share that in due time in different videos. But for now, I just want to talk about the realities of actually publishing, being a self-published author in Nigeria. And it's going to be in different categories. So the first category would be the writing process itself, and I'm talking about myself and how the writing process is for me and just the writing itself in general. And then the second category is going to be the community, that is the writing community in Nigeria, the self-publishing writing community in Nigeria, how it is, what's going on there, and then the platforms in which we publish, the publishing platforms, and the problems and the pros and cons, and also the last thing would be the reading culture and getting readers and all that jazz. So if you are someone that wants to publish your book in Nigeria, and you're in Nigeria and you want to publish your book in Nigeria, and you're a self-published author, that means you don't want to go the traditional route of looking for a publisher, getting them to approve your book and all that. You want to do everything yourself. They're welcome. Welcome, because they're welcome, because there are lots of things you need to know, and there are lots of things you need to put into consideration, because as glamorous as it might look, it's not all that glamorous in reality, but it's fun and it's nice if you're willing to learn and if you have a passion for it. So let's start with writing. For me, I think this is a general knowledge, and it's everywhere. It's not only in Nigeria, but the writing process can be quite lonely, and I think that's why there are platforms like Wattpad and Linkit and all these different platforms that allow people to write their books and allows them to get feedback on their books. But if you are planning on writing a book that you want to publish, you want to put out there, you cannot put your books on Wattpad. You can, but I would just recommend you don't, because if you plan to sell these books, putting it out for free might not be the best bet. But see, you can do whatever you want. I'm just a girl with an opinion. But I would say that the writing process can be quite lonely. You are there, you're the only one with your book writing. You're not getting feedback from anybody. You don't know whether what you have been writing is rubbish. You don't know if you're doing the right thing. It's just you and yourself trying to psych and encourage yourself. And if you don't have a friend that is a writer that can encourage you, it can be quite discouraging. And that's why some people get discouraged in the middle of their book, because it's like everybody needs encouragement. Everybody needs help and support. Another thing that comes with the writing process as an author is the genre. So in Nigeria presently, most people like reading romance more than any other genre. And I don't think it's only in Nigeria, but I can only talk for where I live. Although I know that romance is one of the highest selling genre in America and in other countries or whatever. But I know that here it's romance that sells. Nigerians love romance. So one thing that one has to put in mind when they're writing their book is that, oh, if I'm writing this book, the people, especially as a self-published author, someone that is not traditionally published, you might have to put into consideration that you're not going to have a lot of people trooping or lining up and queuing to read your book because you're writing something that is different. It's not impossible for you to start to write whatever you want to write, but I'm just saying that it's something that one has to put into consideration and put in mind that, oh, I'm writing this genre. It's not really the popular genre in Nigeria, but I just want to write it because honestly, I like reading thrillers. So I don't see a lot of thriller books here. The kind of thrillers I love to read, I don't see a lot of that here because most people want to read romance books, and most people want to write romance books because if you want to make money from your book, you have to kind of write what your audience would like, if that makes sense. So that's another thing. And another thing that comes with the whole writing process is procrastination and writer's block. Oh my gosh, that is my kryptonite. That is my weakness. I procrastinate a lot when it comes to writing. I'm even supposed to write today, but I would rather film a YouTube video than write. Yes, that's how far I procrastinate. But yes, there's procrastination. You sometimes you don't feel like writing, you're not in the mood, and then there's writer's block. Sometimes you don't know what to write. And for someone like myself that I outline my books, I still deal with these things. I still deal with writers block because even though I know what I'm supposed to write next, I might not just be excited to write it. I'm just not in the mood to write it anymore. I'm bored. I want to move to another book, and it's not boredom like I'm bored with the story. I just want to do something new. I have this attention span. Like my attention span is not really long. But yes, there's procrastination. There's writer's block, and all these things that come with writing a book. So that's one thing about the writing process that you should keep in mind when writing. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the community. The writing community right now for self-published authors is quite small. I would even argue that the writing community in general is quite small, and that is honestly okay for now. But then at the same time, it's like we have this small community of self-published authors, and there are even other self-published authors here in Nigeria that I might not even know about, because it's only those that are quite present on social media that we get to see. But there are people that are publishing their books by themselves, and our community is quite small. We're not many. In fact, all of us as if we know each other. and even in that, there are communities within the community. So we have a small community, and then we have communities within the communities. I can think of only one community so far. I haven't tried to start my own community, and I have my thoughts on that, because I do think that having communities within a small community already kind of brings some sort of exclusion, because if you have a community of writers that you people are working together and you're writing books together, that's fine. But it can also, because everybody is trying to bring awareness into our work, so it can kind of exclude other people that are trying to get awareness in their work. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's also, see, I don't really even have a huge problem with it at the same time, because everybody is just trying to make their work blow, and communities are important, because if you don't have people that will encourage you and you will encourage, it can be a very lonely journey. So the community is quite small, but I do think that if you join the community of self-published authors, you are going to have a good time, because they are very supportive of whatever you're doing. You're going to have people that are going to support you, going to follow you on Instagram, encourage you. So it's really a really nice, cozy, small community, and I would recommend that if you're a writer, you should join the community. If you want to start joining the community, just follow me on Instagram. Yeah. And you can send a DM, honestly, but it's quite, you can make friends from the community, and people are friendly, and people are willing to be there, and people are willing to help. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the platforms the writing platforms that we have. So we currently have two major writing platforms in Nigeria. So you know how there's Amazon and people have Amazon Kindle and the rest. We have our own Amazon. Yes. Well, we have two major publishing platforms I can think of at the top of my head, and that's Okada Books and BAM Books. So Okada Books is a platform where you get to put your book out, put a price tag to your book, and people will just buy your ebook, but you can only read it on the app, but nobody's going to take your work and send it to somebody else that didn't pay for it. So Okada Books is also a good option, but then we also have BAM Books, and BAM Books is where you put your book out on the platform, and all these apps are free. So you put your book on the platform and then you get paid according to the number of people that read your books. So readers pay a monthly subscription and they get to read any book they want, and they get paid according to the number of pages that you have in your book. So those are two major platforms that we have. And I do think that many people, although people know about these platforms, people also don't know about these platforms, and that can be such a bummer. Which takes me to the readers, because why are we writing? Yes, we are writing for ourselves. We are writing because we love to write. But we're also writing because we want people to read our books. And honestly, that's why I say it's tough being a self-published author in Nigeria, because yes, there are people that are killing it out there. I can think of one person that is killing it in the self-published industry. She's an OG and that's amazing, but it's not the reality for every single person that is writing. It can be so discouraging when you write a book, you put in your sweat, your effort, your tears into the book, because I've cried while writing. And then at the end of the day, nobody is reading, nobody is interested, nobody wants to read. Even your friends that you know that like to read don't want to read because they don't want to pay for it. They want you to just hand it over to them. They want you to give it to them for free. And so that can be quite challenging, because we want people to read our book, and it can be quite discouraging. It can even make you say you don't want to write again, because the only people that you might have in your corner are fellow writers, people that are writing like you and they're not interested in reading your book. Or you might just have just one or two friends that read, people that are asking for free books. So it can be quite discouraging when you don't have people that are reading. And there's one thing that my friend and I have talked about, or that I've told people, is that how I see it is that Nigerians read. Nigerians actually do read, but they read mostly foreign books, because those are the ones that are being marketed more. But they read foreign books, and that's because Nigerian books have been associated with literature. That's literary books, books about suffering, about this and that. You hardly see people promote books, and even when we're growing up, you hardly see books that are just written for fun, chick lit, romance, thrillers, mysteries. You hardly see those kind of books without them having one deep meaning. And so people have already associated Nigerian books with those kind of books, and that's why many people gravitate towards books written by foreigners. And even the Nigerian books that are contemporary books that are being recognized now are books written by people that are not even in Nigeria, people that are Nigerians but they are abroad, they're in the diaspora, Nigerians in the diaspora, and those are people that even have publishing, that are being published by publishing companies, and these publishing companies are not Nigerian. So it's still kind of like somebody abroad has to approve the books that we read here. And so I just believe that either people don't know that they are self-published authors, because I still see people on Twitter talk about how we don't have books that are written by Nigerians for Nigerians. And it's like, we have apps, we have Okada Books, we have BAM Books, we have apps where you can see lots of contemporary books written by Nigerians for your reading pleasure. There's so many books there. I'm sure it's up to 1,000 books, but you just don't know about them. And my mom always says one thing: if you don't look for something, you won't find it. And I think people don't really look for it, so they just assume that, okay, these books don't exist, and the only books we are left with are books written by foreigners and Nigerians in the diaspora. And that's another reason why I created this channel, to create awareness that there are actually lots of self-published authors that are writing books that you will enjoy. You just need to find them, and you can find them on these apps. And so it can be quite discouraging when it's like you're trying to promote your book, you're trying to put your book out there, and that's another thing that even comes with the whole territory, is the fact that you are a one-man army. You are the one that is going to write the book, you're going to pay the editor, you're going to promote the book, and it can be a lot for one person to handle. Unlike when you have a traditional publisher that will do the marketing and you do your own bit of marketing, but you know that that pressure is put off of you to pay for editing and to do all these other things. So it's literally you taking on this whole role and responsibility. And if you can't even afford an editor, you have to now seriously edit or beg a friend to edit for you. So there are lots of things that goes into it, and it can be quite discouraging when you go through all of that and then you put your book out there and people are like, "Alright, cool, good for you, next." But I just want to encourage anybody that wants to write or wants to be a self-published author that keep going. Honestly, you're going to get there. It's going to be fine. You're good to go. It's going to pay off, because I just believe that this is just the starting point for us, and things are going to get better. People are starting to become aware of Nigerian authors in Nigeria, and it's only going to get better. And just keep on writing. Don't let this discourage you. It's just the reality of it, but don't let it discourage you, because your case is definitely going to be different. You're going to be fine, and people are going to read your book. Keep writing, keep having fun. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment on if you're a writer, what are you working on? If you're a reader, what have you discovered from this video? And just let me know anything that you would like to share in the comments, and I will be reading it. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, bye.